Think about the aspects that they're showing you, and in terms of that, because then you're not like, all right, I don't know if you're right, I don't know if you're wrong. You'll know what's up because you're just considering the aspects. Well, these aspects are there. These aspects are what I want to create.
That's easy.
So I was going to ask you,
Yes.
what do you do when you realize I have this perception or concept or belief about myself?
I decide to change it.
How do you do that?
I write, generally, like if I notice, if I am realizing what it is, then I will try to choose like the opposite and see if that opens. Like I know when I feel relief, if I hear it, like, okay, like that's my thing. And then I just try to reinforce it or remember it over and over and over again as much as possible until like it's accepted in my system. Because sometimes it can happen instantly for me. Also, depending what state I'm in at any given point in time through the day or whatever. Sometimes it's just harder for me, so I have to remember it over and over and over again and keep doing that.
Okay.
And so I'm in process of that, right?
We're going to simplify.
Yes.
So remember how we kind of agreed last night that like having the one belief that covers it all is like good. Let's do that. Okay. So that's God's state for what we're talking about here. So you do need to see yourself differently and change your concept of yourself and your beliefs about yourself. So that's what God's state is for. You just keep seeing yourself as, and like here's the words that I use for God's state. And these are just things that have worked the best for me, like out of everything that I've ever done. These are things that have helped me create that consistent result that I wanted to. And you can add to God's state, you can add certain things to it, but basically the words are, I can manifest everything and anything that I want easily and effortlessly and instantly all the time. Like something like that. I know how I manifest every detail of my reality. There are no mysteries to me. So when you include I know how I manifest every detail of my reality and there are no mysteries to me, that is some magic stuff because it makes everything that was invisible to you visible. And suddenly the thing that was wrong with you or wrong with the situation or the belief or whatever you're going to define it as, whatever that was, comes to the surface and it's like no longer a puzzle. It's like, oh, I know what that is and what to do and how to think. And it just is like the solution just comes. And you don't know when it's going to come, it just does, because I'm a person who knows exactly how I manifest every detail of my reality, and there's no mysteries to me. So, like, that's kind of a blanket way to see yourself, and then you can add to it, oh, and I'm a drop-dead gorgeous goddess. You can add to it whatever you want. Oh, and I have, like, mansions all over the world. Like, whatever it is. But use that as practice that baseline concept. That's why it's step 2. But God's state is a little bit harder for people to get into, generally, is what I'm hearing. And that's okay, because that's why it's not step 1. That's why answer mode is step 1. Because I did notice it took a little bit of preparation to even be able to get there. It's a conscious place, So you're practicing with answer mode, it's just practicing a feeling. That's really what it is. And it is a very still, motionless, wordless place and state. It's just feeling what relief feels like. There's nothing more to it. And it is relief, so you can condition yourself and familiarize yourself with enjoying that feeling of relief. This is also a very good practice because when you're clarifying what you want and getting really clear on what you want, hitting the button on what you want, it's going to be a certain feeling. So if you're kind of used to feeling, then you're going to realize the importance of these feelings that come up when you're clarifying, and you'll be able to focus on it a little bit more, recognize it for what it is, speeds the process. Because you can say, oh, that feeling, first of all, you notice it. Wait. don't glaze over this. That feeling is good and important. I like it. And now that I have so much clarity on it and I'm feeling it, it almost feels, I can feel that I'm feeling this real. So that's sort of like another level of awareness that is helpful if you want to be a deliberate creator.
Yeah, I was gonna share that this morning I was sitting on my balcony just like really enjoying the nothingness, like just watching the birds and the sun and all this, and I don't know how long I did that, a good long time, and then I thought, oh, I'm gonna pick up my phone and see what's happening on Facebook or whatever, and like I had this flash of like, and I wrote it down, and I realized in that moment, like, oh man, all this like going to my phone or going to social media is like dulling my sensitivity to my guidance, my intuition, my inspiration. I just like put it down and went back to feeling like, this is awesome. And I had this realization that, oh, this isn't just in Mexico, even though this is fantastic. Like, this is at home too. Like, this feeling is available to me 24/7. Like, it's not contingent on being in a great place with great people.
Right. Yeah, it's not.
So it's just amazing. Like, yeah.
At home, I have better chai tea.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
So, like, that's my oasis
Yeah.
in the morning that I look forward to. So, yeah, you can, that's a little bit of what I was, I think, getting at earlier is, like, sometimes it's very obvious, and even when it's obvious, it won't always be, but sometimes it's not so obvious, and yet it's still that.
Yeah.
Still the red carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, so it just kind of has me into this inquiry of like, wow, I really do actually love this feeling of being in answer mode, God state, flow state, and I'm more aware right now of like where I kind of dull that to go back to the old feeling of just kind of, it's not a bad feeling, it's just not like this. So, right, you need to do this, you need to do that, and get that done, and no, not really, because when I really work from inspiration and intuition, it all just works out.
It will come to me.
Yes.
Because all of my desires are being fulfilled.
Yes.
It will come to me.
Yeah.
And that's how you stop running around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Yeah.
Which is what you do with people.
Yeah, yeah, and so it's just deepening that for me, like at a different level, so it's pretty cool.
Do you want me to say something?
No, you don't have to.
No, I know. I feel like my life's magical and blissful. Like, every day is perfect. I wake up, it's amazing. Like, my kids and I wake up together, where we do our gratitudes together. Like, they're like the reflection of me, almost exact. Like, you know, they're just getting better and better. So like, that part is really cool. I take them to school, I come back, I meditate, I lay back in bed. I just like, this is my day every day for like the last year, almost since I got divorced, whatever. Since I kind of like realized I love living this life. So now I feel like I'm trying, like everything, I'm just kind of like happy every day, just doing, I'm not thinking about how I'm going to make money, and I just think it's going to come to me because I know it's always come, but it'll just stay this way the rest of my life, and things will just get better and better.
Well, I think you're looking for more still, and
Yeah.
you're sort of like, how do I ask for more?
I guess where I'm at is, because I know everything's come, I know that I believe that, like right now I manifested everything that I wanted, whatever, half a year ago, so like all those things are set. Now I feel like I'm kind of almost too deliberately like, okay, oh, my son's teeth, and like, oh, he's growing taller, because I had always said, oh, he's, you know, this is how he is. And my other son takes after my family, who was shorter, and my other son takes after my husband, who's really tall. Oh, that happens to happen. Oh, he's this way, so I'm deliberately like creating that he's getting taller, his teeth are moving, which everything is weirdly happening. But I feel like I'm too finite about every little detail. Do you know what I mean?
Like my mom's eye injection that she was getting, I created that she no longer gets an eye injection after 10 years kind of thing. So I'm thinking so deliberately about the micro things that I feel like I just need to be in God's state that they just happen.
There's nothing wrong with either way.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It seems to be working for you, right? It's because you don't have the resistance. If you were doing that and you had resistance, that would be different, I think. But
Maybe
you're
like let it go faster. Like, oh yeah, she's not gonna eat that anymore, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I don't think about it too much. I don't try to create it. I just like, that's how it's gonna go. Move on. But I think I know what you're looking for. So you want to be more lost in the moment in your life.
No, I feel like I walk around lost in the moment. That's probably more of what I am. Like, I'm just in the moment doing this. And I pick up my kids and let's go to the trampoline place. I'm going to jump and like do all this. I'm the one jumping, the parent that's jumping, and I'm not even with my kids. I'm just doing my own. Like, I'm totally like having fun lost in the moment. I just went to India, like just decided 2 weeks before. Then I came home, went to, it's just like, boom, I decided I'm going to Colombia for a week. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I just booked my, I'm going to I'm taking my kids to either, Punta Cana for spring break or Orlando. So it's like, I feel like I totally get lost in the moment, but I don't plan for the future. Why don't you come bring your kids?
I told my kids I'll take them for spring break too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what you described, where you said, I feel like I'm doing too much meticulous.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too meticulous.
Yeah.
That was the opposite of lost in the moment. So that was
Okay.
what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm not 100% one way or 100% the other way. And when I'm planning those things out, I'm just having fun thinking about it. I'm like, it's like that realization. I was like, oh my gosh, he's that way because I said it or I believe it. Now, he's, and I don't really overthink it. I just put it down like, hey, by April he's going to grow. He's going to be like the 5th tallest kid in the class. Okay, with my business, I'm like, okay, like I'll just randomly say, I go out of town and I always put a deal under contract, and it happens every time. And it's like now my client's calling me. So it's like these things that I just put out there happen.
So what's the problem?
I don't feel like there's a problem with it.
So
I feel like I'm also now trying to figure out.
I think I get it. You said, but I don't plan for the future. You want to think way, way bigger.
Way bigger. Okay. Think way bigger.
You need a goal to fuel, like to channel your energy to.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I just
you want to
got it calming when you said that. So
so you want to enjoy all of this, but there's no you're not channeling that energy towards something bigger in the future. So that's what you want to do. You want to think way bigger, way bigger, way bigger. How big can you think? How big, awesome. How big can it get for you? That's the expansion technique.
Okay. Yeah.
And then find those things that really ring your bells. And then it's not even about getting it. It's about relishing in it and funneling your energy towards that and being inspired by that. And it might morph and change and you might forget about it completely, but that's really fun. And when you have all this energy to funnel, I think it gets kind of flat if you don't do that.
What do you mean by bigger? Like what? I didn't really catch what you were suggesting.
You could say the end, what they call the end, like in Neville terms.
Yeah.
A bigger end, like billionaire, traveling the world, like tons of houses around the world, mansions around the world, like big company doing whatever it is that dream is for you, like yachts. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of things, but like put in there whatever you want, 5,000 boyfriends, whatever. Like, just
Yeah.
get as big, like, make it as big as you want it to be. And, like, I don't know what that is for you, but, like, this is why I call it the expansion technique. How big can you get with what you want, with things that would be super awesome in your eyes? It's not about having it. Because the energy of the true desire, the energy of what you want is what you're after. So it doesn't matter what you think the painting looks like.
Yeah.
Like, you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah.
But you're still funneling your energy towards something that is the representation of whatever it is that you've got in your mind. And, like, this is what I was going to say to you with the SP, well, everybody with the SP. We were talking about this last night. So don't think about them as a person. Think about the aspects that they're showing you, and in terms of that, because then you're not like, right, I don't know if you're right, I don't know if you're wrong. You'll know what's up because you're just considering the aspects. Well, these aspects are there. These aspects are what I want to create. So that really helps, because then you're kind of looking at it more in terms of what's actually going on at a creative process aspect, So yeah, I think you just need something to funnel your energy towards.
I kind of feel like I see vision now. Like, I see vision of people that I've heard give their inspirational story. It's like they knew what that end goal was, and then they just took that flow that was taking them there, basically. Like, I don't need to...
You have to have that, something to funnel towards. Yeah, you have to have that. Because if you're not doing it, then everything's perfect in this little space.
Like in stages, like if you said that it's been just 1 year that you studied all this, right?
Yeah.
So now you're practicing and you're seeing that it works for your son's teeth or for your mother or all these little things in your life. So
like change the weather. I know you see it. When I was in Costa Rica last year, you know when you did it, it's like you're like, whoa, wait. Like there's something that you feel connected to.
Yes. So with the little things, you see it's working, so you build your confidence, and now you can build up to bigger things. Is that what you're saying? In her situation?
You always need bigger things. Because she's got everything she wants, and it's still not, something's missing.
But maybe because she only started a year ago, I mean, most of us have many years behind us. This is already amazing.
Why can't it be bigger?
It can. But I'm saying it's just a stepping stone. Everything is always like a stepping stone.
It's not about getting there. No. It's about the energy that you funnel towards something. It's the energy, because you'll be inspired by it. That's the juice.
Right.
That's like the gasoline. You've got to have that end picture, that end goal. It's not a goal. It's not about getting there. It's an inspiration that you're funneling. You're connecting to inspiration. And it keeps you moving forward, because otherwise you get, what she's got, where it's like, well, this is perfect. Now what?
Oh yeah, no, it's always evolving. But if you start crazy from scratch, maybe it doesn't feel like anything. So it's a
what?
Good, if you start like with the law of attraction or this God state, all this, and you have a goal that is too big.
She can only do that because she's in phase 2.
Okay. So that's why I was talking about stepping stone or evolution. It's like always like a.
If you're in phase 1, then you're just stabilizing. And then when you're in phase 2, you fix everything around you. But from phase 2, if you're still in phase 2, you keep having to get bigger. Otherwise, if you're not, it's like what the Bible says, if you're not with me, you're against me, or what people say, like you're either growing or you're disintegrating, I don't know. But it's like if you're not growing, then you're going to regress. You're going to go back to phase 1 if you don't have that inspiration to funnel towards something, some end, something.
So with that, where does clarity come into play? Because I feel like...
It's all clarity. It's all that process.
Yeah, because I think in the past where I've slipped back into phase 1, when I was in phase 2, was when I lost like that clarity clarity of where I was going. Like I lost sight of what's next.
Yeah. It just takes the wind right out of everything.
Yeah.
And then you
everything went,
regress. Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's
you have
exactly
to
what
have
happened.
that will be step 8, I guess. I don't know. That's not even a step. That's just a blanket. So we got a foundation, now we got our blanket.
Yeah. So what you're saying now about having a goal further out is kind of like what you told me when we talked at New Year's, which was, it's another way to say, ask for what you really want. Right? Like, don't ask for the things like that you don't really want. Like, ask for what you really want. What you know. It's kind of how I'm hearing it is. It's another way to say, like, look out and go, like, what would be really big?
Yeah, and you have to remind yourself to do that expansion
Yes.
technique. It's an essence. It's not a thing. It's an essence. But
Yeah.
this gets into something that I've discovered that I call a glimpse. And this, like, is so incredibly effective. Like, whenever I'm like, I don't know what's wrong, I don't know, why am I not feeling what is going on? I'm always like, I go back to this glimpse thing. And it works not instantly, as in I'll be like, oh, okay, that's better. But, like, the same day, always. I'll be like, yep, that's all it was. I had to channel, I had to think about whatever. There is something very, very powerful about tapping into an essence of an energy, getting clarity. So what I do is, I think everybody has had glimpses in their life. Sometimes you can recall it, sometimes you can't, but you will. So I've had 2 significant glimpses in my life. One of them I explained in one of my videos where I felt like I had an out-of-body experience where I felt exactly what it feels like to be God. And, like, I don't think that I could ever feel, or I don't think anybody could ever reach that in a human body. It was that ecstatic. And then I had another one where I was not asleep and I was, like, so in love with this person. And I was like, what's the point of this? And I got this glimpse of being inside this perfect reality. And it wasn't just the reality of the specific person, it was like the whole life. Like, if you close your eyes, you're aware of, like, your entire reality still. It was kind of like that, but, like, a whole different reality that was, like, unimaginable perfection. Like, I could only imagine it because I was there and I felt it. So whatever glimpse that you've had, I'm sure you've had plenty, it's a little bit more of, like, a mystical experience. Like, mine were mystical experiences. But it can also be life. Like, if you had that when you gave birth to your child, like, that feeling, that essence is your glimpse. Or, like, it could be something totally different, you know? But find a glimpse, and if you want one, you'll get one. You know, like, oh, well, I don't know, I'll get one. There's certain things that I know, like, if I'm feeling off, I'll be like, well, have I done this? Have I had my glimpse recently? Like, have I done that? I think it's kind of like God's state is kind of like a glimpse that you should do daily. But, like, for me, these other glimpses can be more powerful. It takes a second, for me at least. I'll just remember and tap into those perfect, amazing energies, whatever it is that I prefer. And then you bring it to you by thinking about it, and it just becomes, I don't know. But there's something very powerful about the Neville teaching of putting yourself there. That is a really easy, so effective way to help yourself. And it goes with the goal thing that it's like, yeah, these 3 things are essential. What's the third thing? Well, orgasm. Yeah. Orgasm, glimpse, goal. Glimpse and goal are very similar, but glimpse is more inspired, goal is more clarity, like gaining clarity, or like the fun of the process of gaining clarity.
That was easy.